What's going on? All right, brand new week, brand new market update. Let's start off with the DXY as usual. So right now we're on the monthly time frame. The monthly candle for August is starting off bearish. This is exactly what we wanted to see. I believe it was last market update. I did mention that, there was some short-term bullish pressure on the dollar. And then we had FOMC. They didn't change the rates at all. That ended up giving the dollar a little bit of strength, but nothing crazy. This is literally just overall normal price action that the algorithm is going to push out while the market is already going to the downside on the macro. But the micro is going to have some turbulence as expected. So, I did mention we could pass either this high, we could pass this high, or we can come up here. And that still is a possibility. So, we'll see how this ends up panning out in the next few weeks because we are going to hit midway through quarter three in like 10 days. So yeah, we can get a little bit of more upside on the dollar. Maybe that'll cause some turbulence in crypto or maybe not. At this point, the crypto market is still holding up pretty well, but it's on an overall macro trend. And yeah, they will do these little, liquidity grabs and bear traps to trick people. But overall, we already know the overall macro trend. So this is how we look on the weekly. Um, Yeah, look, we got a little bit of we were all the way up here and then we ended up closing off bullish weekly candle last week and now we're right here. So, you know, um, turbulence is expected over here, but once we start seeing higher lows, I mean lower highs, so this is a high. Once we see another lower high and we see the overall micro trend continue, expect some new lows on the DXY. So that can happen within the next few weeks. We know that this macro trend is not bottomed out just yet, but we can still come maybe up here to like 102. That is still a possibility as of right now. It would not surprise me. So, but yeah, after 102, then I would definitely expect a continuation, stronger continuation to the downside. If we don't get that 102, then that is also possible that we just turn around from these areas. The algorithm loves to play games. Sometimes they'll do that and sometimes they won't. We take a look at what it's hitting right here. We literally hit this overall zone, retested this, and we can just continue from here too. So, I'm not trying to sit here and predict exactly what's going to go on. I just know that the overall trend is still pointing to the downside and the dollar is losing strength. At the end of the day, we know the dollar is losing strength, but it's not going to lose strength forever. Once we start getting to specific ranges, that's going to be a cue for us to start buying the dollar back, which means we're going to start selling our crypto. But that right now is not the case. XRP is looking great as well. Literally just had a little bit of a bit of turbulence after making a new all-time high. I love this because look, we made this all-time high up here and came all the way back down here. Built a nice base down here, and then we came all the way back up. Made another new all-time high, and now we got a little bit of a retracement over here, a little bit of turbulence, and now we're headed into price discovery. So now we can finally get this four to, six, seven, $8 XRP. I'm gonna just say between 5 and 10 because I'm very positive that it's not gonna just stop at $4. I believe that, once we head into price discovery, this thing is probably gonna go straight towards $5. So $5 to $10 is very likely next for XRP. And yeah, this could happen, still can happen within this quarter. I do still believe we still have basically 2 full months left in this quarter. So very possible because that's nearly 8 weeks. And this can happen in a matter of 3, 4 weeks. So, even if we don't, it doesn't happen within the first half of the quarter, we still have the second half of the quarter. So, as you can see over here, we literally just swept this low. This was the low. Price just came all the way back down, swept the low, liquidity grab, little bear trap. People just started talking about $1 XRP once again, and then they sold the bottom and the market continues higher. This is a signal that this is basically the market is telling you that if you were bearish on this dip, you're wrong. And some people it hasn't clicked for some people yet. It hasn't clicked. It will click once price is above 350. It'll click for them. Right now, it's not clicking for them yet because this still can just be a little bit turbulent within this range. But it'll click for them once the market is back over $3.50. And it'll definitely click for them once the market makes another new all-time high. But for now, yeah, XRP is looking good and should continue this overall macro trend. You definitely always want to see why or where the market is like, starting to turn around. So as long as it's sweeping some type of low or retesting a supply zone like Bitcoin did, that's a great sign. That's usually what we want to see. So yeah, this is still on its overall trend and should continue to range to the upside.